Hey YouTube, this is Alexander, and I've been using the Nexus 6P for about 5 months, and there are some new flagships on the scene like the Galaxy S7, HTC 10, and LG G5. So with all these new flagships out, how is the Nexus 6P held up, and should you still consider picking one up? Let's go ahead and talk about it. Now, I've already done my full video review of the Nexus 6P, so if you want to check that out, go ahead and see the link down below in the description. But anyway, the Nexus 6P is made of an all-metal body that still feels as good as the first time I picked it up. It's cool to the touch in the mornings, but it can be super slippery at times. The black visor up top on the back isn't my favorite design for a smartphone camera and all the housing that goes along with it, but it really isn't that bad at all. And it's sort of iconic now as being the 6P's signature look, and it's kind of grown on me a bit. The metal has done pretty well standing up to potential scratches and scuffs, but then again, I'm super careful with my devices. The only slight blemish you can notice is a little scuffing by the Huawei logo, which I suspect has come from laying it down on less than ideal surfaces, but I hardly even notice it. Now, I did have a dbrand skin on it for a while, but sometimes I just enjoy the cool metal feel of the 6P, and from time to time I do put a case on it when I feel like extra caution is needed, but for the most part it's naked. Now, the fingerprint sensor has been super handy for me. The placement is pretty much exactly where my index finger rests anyway, so unlocking it is a breeze and it's still very fast. Also, seeing that more and more phones are coming out with fingerprint sensors is nice to be right there with the pack and not worry about the 6P already feeling outdated. Now, flipping to the front is the 1440p display. The display feels a bit warm to me, which isn't a big deal, but I would have preferred a slightly cooler display. Also, viewing it in direct sunlight can be a bit of a challenge every now and then, but it's not too bad. However, as a panel supplied by Samsung, it's nicely saturated and the viewing angles are pretty good, so that's a plus. Now, flanking that display are two loud front-facing speakers. Now that HTC has gone the way of Samsung and LG and put their speaker on somewhere other than the front, the 6P might have the edge here. The dual front-facing speakers are very nice when listening to music or enjoying some videos. I've actually started using my 6P to watch YouTube a lot more than when I first reviewed it, and I have to say that the speaker and display combo is absolutely great. It's really nice to not worry about blocking the speaker grill or having to cup your hand in some weird way or anything like that. This is definitely how flagship phones should handle the speaker setup, and I'm really glad that the 6P has that. However, since I definitely watch more YouTube, stream more music, and check my social media like Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, etc. more often now, I have seen a noticeable dip in battery life. I'm able to make it to about the early evening before I need to charge on most school days, which are my heavier days, but on lighter days, making it through a full day and charging before bed isn't really an issue. Now, the camera has honestly got to be one of the least used portions of this phone for me. The reason? Well, I just don't take many photos unless I'm traveling, in which case I bring my DSLR. If there is something I want to snap on my phone though, it does a great job. Even in low light, the pictures still come out great. This is definitely an area that has pleased me when I need to whip out my phone and snap something. Something that I think really stands out though is the addition of the USB Type-C, a standard that is starting off on a bit of rocky soil for smartphones, but it's only going to get better from here, and it's great that the 6P won't fall behind in this respect if you decide not to upgrade to the next Nexus, which is something that I can't say for the Galaxy S7 unfortunately. So if you were to come to me and ask after 5 months of me having used the 6P if it's still worth considering for your next smartphone, I'd say definitely. It's much more affordable at full price compared to some of the other flagships as Nexus devices tend to be. You won't have to worry about its tech falling behind since it'll get updates quickly and reliably for the foreseeable future. The hardware has been future-proofed with a Type-C port, front-facing speakers, and a fingerprint sensor. Oh, and the camera is still among the best. After 5 months with the Nexus 6P, I'm still enjoying it as much as when I first picked it up, and I can't wait to see how Google improves upon it in the next Nexus. But if you're not concerned with the next version of Nexus and want something that's still a great buy even after all these months, you definitely can't go wrong with the Nexus 6P. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a good Friday and an awesome weekend. Peace.